everyone, welcome to Computex 2014. My name is Shannon with Thermaltake, and we want to show you some of the continuation in our chassis lineup. You saw our core V71 in CES earlier this year. Now we have the continuation on this line, starting with we have the core V51. As you can see, it carries a lot of the same design language that you had with the V71 in a slightly smaller chassis. It also does have a metal top versus the previous, which had the large plastic cladding on top to give it the more space for the larger fans. Instead, we made the larger metal top here with a magnetic fan filter in place so that you can actually still have the slotted cooling fitment, but it's all a solid metal top instead of having the large fascia piece up top. So it kind of gives you a little bit different aesthetic with that chassis versus the plastic one. And also, you have the large window just like you did on the V71 and all the same modularity you had with the V71, but in a slightly more compact chassis. Now let's go take a look at some of the other options we have in the core series, and we'll show you some of the introductions of the features they offer. Okay guys, and now we're off to the V41. This is the next step and a little bit smaller in the core series as well. As you can see, you have a smaller window here. Same core styling, same metal top with a magnetic fan filter. You have your adjustable fan holes. As you can see, it's also not quite as wide as the V51, so you have slightly different radiator as in width fitments there. But otherwise, the side window is not completely square. It has slightly curved edges. It's a little bit different of a side panel, but still has similar modularity, still has a lot of water cooling fitment or adjustability, if you will, so you can build it the way you want it. Now let's take a look. We have one even smaller that's an Atx Base Chassis. Let's go take a look at the V31. Okay, now we're at the last of the Atx Base Chassis, and this is the V31. It is the smallest of the Atx Base cores at this point, and this one is the smallest and also a little slimmer than you saw like in the V41 and V51. So therefore, when you look here, same magnetic, but you'll notice it doesn't have the wider 140mm based radiator fitment. This is just simply a limitation of the smaller chassis. So basically, we're giving you the options between price points and chassis that'll fit the design needs you're looking for and the way you want to build your system. But as you can see, just like the other ones, we don't give up on features. We still have the modular drive racks. We still have the full removable drive bays. We have all this good stuff, and all of it can be ripped out to make custom liquid cooling or however you want to configure it. Now let's take a look. At the smallest one. It's not ATX based, but it's a really cool one that we have showing here at Computex as well. Okay, and the smallest and actually one of the lowest price point for our core V series, kind of rounding it out here at Computex, would be the core V1. And this is our small cube ITX Base chassis. As you can see, it has symmetrical side panels, so you can flip them to whichever side best fits what your viewing experience and your cooling experience you need. It does come default with a 200mm fan in the front, along with something that you don't see a lot of, which is when the ITX you're normally limited to a very small video card. We actually have a cutout in the front to allow some actual easement space through the front of the chassis, just to give you a little more length to your graphics card and allow you to have an even more powerful system in a very, very compact form factor. Not to mention, this chassis also does support, as you can see in here, a full custom liquid cooling setup, just like we have installed here. So you can not just have a powerful system, you can even overclock it and keep it really cool. We started with Thermaltake with thermal solutions, but there's something we're really excited to show when it comes to cooling, and this is where you get your Pacific Series radiators. You can see these are full DIY radiators, and you can see we went really huge, but we even went a little nuts with it, and we pulled out a special one. That's this guy right here. It's the 540. Now you'll notice there's no case right now that's ever going to support this thing at this moment. So basically, with Thermaltake being a solution provider, we now made a problem, and well, keep an eye out because I'm sure we're gonna have a solution for this coming very soon. Let's take a look at some of the other liquid cooling DIY stuff we got going on here. Now, as you can see, with the radiators, we have thin, we have thick, depending on what can fit your chassis, because we don't want to just give you a huge radiator that maybe won't fit your case. Then we have all different sizes of cylinder reservoirs to match whatever size chassis or enclosure or whatever your build may be. Then we have D5 pump heads, the pump tops, the settle pump tops, enclosures for the D5, helps with vibration, noise, and just makes it look nicer. We have a dual 5¼ bay reservoir ready to go. We have multiple block styles. in order for you to choose which one best either suits you or your performance needs. Even fittings and different color liquids. We even went as far as getting some really awesome tubing to make sure that you can build a really nice liquid cooling system with no compromises. Hey guys, you know we've made the level 10 case, we've made the level 10 limited, and now we've introduced the level 10 titanium. You know what? We had to do something a little different. We wanted to give you an accessory to go along with those of you that get into the level 10 series. We actually made a level 10 miniature. It's actually a hard drive enclosure, one of our external drive enclosures, but it's styled like the level 10 chassis. So it gives you a little something alongside your, maybe your crazy system built in level 10 that you can have in a little bit smaller of a form factor and be able to keep your drive in there and store all your data. Also, well, along with our BlackX Urban Wi-Fi we have a new BlackX Urban which is coming out, does USB 3 straight through, so kind of following along with the same design styling. Just gives you another option as to whether you're wirelessly or wired connecting your data. You've got plenty you can work with. Another thing we're debuting here is the Commander FX, because now that we're building these huge radiators and fitting tons of fans, one thing is, motherboard headers, you don't have a whole lot of them. So being able to fit a lot of fans on there was really a premium for us. So as you can see, we have a SATA power connector, goes into a 10-port fan hub, and you can run all your fans, 10 fans off there, off one single connection. It just makes it a lot more convenient for running all of your cooling. Hi everyone, this is Shannon at Thermaltake again, and now we're looking at our power supply options. We do have a few new power supply, not just series, but models we're showing at Computex 2014 that are new introductions here. We're going to start with our Dps G Series. Basically, these are actually more cost-friendly digital power supply units because we have our Dps series already, but the Dps G Series allows the same digital power supply features, similar strength and everything, but at an even easier price point, because basically we were able to remove some of the monitoring circuitry out of the actual PSU itself and put it into a cable, which made it a lot easier to build a power supply that more people can afford and still have the same awesome quality you expect from Thermaltake. And then of course we have our DPS series, which you can follow across. You can see we have all the way up to 1250 here, along with some new grand fully modular models. Then we're going to move down to something that's really cool. You guys have been asking for like the individually sleeved cables, stuff that you can customize with and not have to sleeve it yourself, because that's really can be a hard time to do that kind of stuff. So we're actually offering different color sleeved cables. We're looking at color options now. This is something that's going to be coming pretty soon, but not like right this moment. And then we have one really cool one, which is the first of our titanium series, 94% efficiency, 1500 watts, and this is just the start for Thermaltake on going super high efficient on power supplies. And then of course we have a newer Tough Power 1500 Gold also as well, which you'll be seeing coming down the pipe. Just a monster power supply for those crazy multi-card SLI or crossfire rigs. So keep an eye on Thermaltake for some really exciting upcoming products coming soon.